Morning. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Today, I want to talk to you about the need to have a planning process. And, when you think about a process, it's something that's repeatable. It's something that your clients will understand. And it's something that will help you produce better results and more consistent results. If you think about this, in this industry, we're always talking about how can we be different? What can we do to set ourselves apart from our competition? And I really believe having this process is going to be something that will set you apart from everybody else. When I think about having a process, I think about building a home. Think about this when you're building a home. If you're going to, build your dream home, do you just go out and, go down to Home Depot, buy a hammer, buy some nails, buy some 2x4s, maybe a shovel, some concrete, and go start building that dream home? And if you think about it, that would be laughable. And even if you're in the construction business, that would be laughable, because the biggest thing is you haven't gone through the right process. If you're going to build that dream home, what's the first step? And think through each step. Well, step one, you're going to go find an architect. You're going to get that architect and you're going to start talking about this home, because you're going to get that home that's in your head, that dream home, and you're going to start telling him what you want in that dream home. Now, what's the architect's job? The architect is going to take what you're telling him, and he's going to start coming up with that blueprint. But now you might say, well, we want a walkout basement. And he's going to look at you and laugh and say, well, that'd be great. I'd love to give you a walkout basement, but you bought a level lot. We can't put a walkout basement on a level lot. Right dream, wrong location. So he's going to start pushing back and help you get exactly what you want based on what you have, where you're at today, what your goals and objectives are. If you think about the same process now, once you have that blueprint, now you still don't go down to Home Depot and buy all your tools and your shovel and nails and everything else. Now you're going to go out, and the next step is you're going to get a general contractor. And the general contractor is going to look at the blueprints and say, great, now I need to go out and get the subcontractors. I need to get somebody that can dig the foundation, pour the foundation. I need somebody that can, put the walls up, put the electrical, plumbing, roofing. All of this is going to be done by the subcontractors, overseen by the general contractor. All of this is done in a process to make sure that your dream home, as it's laid out on that blueprint, can become a reality. And so when we're working with our clients, it's the same thing. If we have that process, we're going to start going through and figuring out where are our clients at today, but more importantly, what are their dreams? What are their goals? What do they want for retirement? What do they want for their family? What kind of lifestyle do they want? As you start going through this whole planning, this legacy process, it's going to be something that you're trying to pull this dream out of their head so that you can make that become a reality. Now, as you go through this, here's one of the problems I see in our industry. We have everybody that's acting like the lone wolf. And as a lone wolf, what I mean by that is, the financial advisor's meeting with the client, getting all of their information, putting together a plan. Now the CPA is meeting with the client, getting their information, putting together tax returns and whatever. Their attorneys doing the exact same process, meeting with them, going through, getting their information, putting it, together, whatever plan. But the problem is nobody's talking. The clients think there's a team, but the clients didn't hire a general contractor. They're hiring the subcontractors, and there's no general contractor. In the financial industry, we are ready, made, and suited to be the general contractor, the one that makes this team a reality, the one that brings the glue of that team together. Now, as you go through this planning process, step one, gather information. We've got to figure out where the client is today, what they're, where they're at, what they're doing, so that we know that as we're gathering that information, that we have everything. Take the time to do it right. Whether it's getting tax returns, financial statements, the questionnaires we give them, their business information, their current statements, all of this, we need this in, because if we don't get this information from them, it's garbage in, garbage out. You want a quick result, you might get a bad result. So take the time to get the client's information. This is part of your process. This is your process. Now, I'll have a lot of, advisors say, well, my client doesn't want to fill out a questionnaire, or they don't want to give me the tax returns. You might want to ask yourself, is this a client, or is this somebody that you're going to say next? Because if they're not going to give you the information, how can you do the planning? Once you do that, then of course we want to get the client's goals. Make sure we understand as much as we can get. Their family, their business, their charitable goals, their personal goals, their retirement goals. Pull it out of them. Take the time to understand who they are. Once you have all of that, then you can start identifying the potential tools, the potential strategies. This is where we want to fill our toolbox. When we do the education, we're filling our toolbox with ideas, potential tools that might be used. This isn't just a list I went through and just, put together years ago. And this is not an exhaustive list. But not only do we want to understand these tools, we want to understand how do they work together. So if we understand this, we've now got the client's information, they've got their goals, we've got the potential tools. Now we can start formulating a plan. We can put that plan together so that as we're working with the client, we can have them understand why this plan's important, why the different steps in the plan are important, and all of this is to get their goals. Once we have all of that, now we're going to present the plan to our client. And we're going to present that plan knowing that we have a team already that's agreed this is the right plan. If we're working with the attorney and the CPAs and whoever else needs to be brought in, maybe the property and casualty advisor, maybe their banker, whatever it is, we can go in and say, here's the plan. Here's the steps that we're going to go through each step as we have that plan in place. And now the big step is implementing the plan. Implementing the plan. If you don't implement the plan, it didn't happen. Think about that. Think back to the home. You went to the architect, you got this beautiful blueprint, and you stopped. Well, you got a big, paid the architect and you've got this beautiful blueprint, but you don't have a home. Your dream home doesn't exist. Same thing here. We can have the best laid plan, but if we didn't implement all of it, the goals and dreams aren't going to happen. Now, this is where we want to have that team mentality, especially on implementation, is somebody's got to put those estate planning documents together. Maybe it's the buy-sell agreement and transition documents for the business. Maybe it's an ESOP. Maybe, we've got life insurance that may be in the business, maybe personal, maybe in a trust. All of this has to happen or the goals aren't going to be achieved. And if we've built that team and that team is ready, now we've got implementation and we've got coordination on the implementation. Finally, as we go through the last step, we've got to let the client know this is a process. This isn't one and done. This isn't, hey, we did your life insurance and we're going to stick it in a drawer. No, we're going to review this on a regular basis, preferably an annual basis, to make sure this plan stays up to date, to make sure their life insurance is up to date. All of this is done so that we can meet the goal. We're not doing this as a one-off, one and done. We're doing this in a process so we get a repeatable result for us. We get a repeatable result for our client. And at the end of the day, we're helping them fulfill what their goals and dreams are. And that's our job as advisors, is to help them achieve their goals. I appreciate everybody getting on. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll go through more next week. Thank you.